Hello everyone, it's Return of the Jedi here, coming back with another video, and I'm actually going to do a collection room tour update video. As everybody knows, my last video was for May the 4th. It was a full 2025 collection room tour. The responses and the support of that video have been tremendous, so just thank you everybody so much for supporting that. It's almost up to 10,000 views, which for my channel is awesome, and I just appreciate the fact that people enjoyed watching the video, and again, I just love sharing this hobby to people I've met and more so the community out there that I haven't met. So I think it's cool, this bond we have together, and I really appreciate people enjoying it. So we're gonna shoot a little bit of an update video of some things that are new. There has definitely been some stuff that's changed since May of 2025. So again, not really sure how long this is gonna last, but we're gonna just kind of start in the same corner where I always start, and we'll kind of go over some things that are different and new. So really, basically nothing has changed in the Entryway. Still pretty happy with it. I'm pretty capped on the lightsabers I'm getting. I really believe this is gonna be absolutely it for my sabers. And yeah, pretty much all the same stuff here. So all that's the same for the most part. The Black Series area is exactly the same. Everybody knows I've really slowed down on Black Series figures, mainly just getting the ones that I absolutely must have for my display. But a couple things I did add on my blue Mando shelf. On the top row, I actually added the holiday Mando in the top middle there. Because again, kind of goofy. I know the holiday line is kind of whatever, but I think it's cool and it matches the color scheme, and it's a Mando, so added him up there. I think it looks great. And then sticking with the holidays, in my Clone Trooper shelf, my Clone Wars shelf, I actually added the Halloween holiday trooper back there next to the Umbra Ops. So kind of the, the black main armored colored troopers with a little bit of bright color, and it also kind of spills over from the green of Commander Gree and all that. So I think it works. So that's pretty much all that's different with the Black Series area. I moved my Padme Gentle Giant statue there, and I grouped Rey with Leia. I mean, yeah, it's different eras and whatnot, but like at the end of the day, real tight-knit, obviously. Leia was a big part of Rey's teaching, so I grouped them together to make room for Padme there. Leia and Rey were by themselves, and there's a reason for that, which is something I'm going to get to at the end of this video, but I had to clear out some shelf space, so I moved Padme. And then we're going to get into a little more of what's actually different. Again, not really going to notice this, but I actually switched to 12-inch pegs on my pegboards, which again is going to allow me more room to keep collecting and keep displaying figures. So it started like 5 deep, now we're like 7 deep. I think this can realistically get me to about 9 figures deep per row. And I did that with all these 24 pegs here to make room for some new TVC figures. And then I added one of them there because I got a 25 pack, so I can always get more to add there. But going with some longer pegs, and again, that was just kind of something that you can always do doing this pegboard style to indefinitely grow your collection. I think everybody knows long-term collectors, space is always at a premium. And this allows us to maximize space doing this. I highly, highly recommend it. You can keep getting longer pegs to keep adding more. So that was something that I recently changed, but in showing some different TVC figures that I've recently gotten, I got Prune Face. I got the new Ventress. I got that whole new wave just this week. Awesome. Every single figure is excellent in that wave. I never had Ayla Secura, so I was able to get her. And going down here, I don't think I had the Snow Trooper yet. I'm gonna make the 4th video if I did. Sorry about that, but absolutely love that. Instant favorite, instant classic. So good. Love everything about that figure, the card back. It's excellent. And then up here, I never had Lumat, the Ewok. So I got Lumat there. I actually got that at a great price. Bastila. Added her there. Shin's new. Again, the Shin and Balin wave. They're all excellent. So she's there. Obviously the Heir to the Empire pack, I don't think I had yet since I shot my last video, so they've all been added, but the biggest thing that I changed here is adding the bigger pegs. So again, we can keep growing. As everybody knows, 3 3/4 figures. I like to collect a lot of things, but that's my bread and butter. Those are my favorite things to collect. Those figures, that line, just the iconic card backs, the versatility of what you can do with them loose. So good. Again, we owe action figure collecting as we know it to these figures. So getting into the loose stuff, my Battlefront 2 Heroes and Villains shelf, I switched I had the like Tartakovsky 3D, they're the Tartakovsky Clone Wars, the animated one, as the Ventress there, and then in the case assortment, I got 2 of the Ventresses. So obviously I put the new TVC Ventress in there. I mean, I like the other one in there just because I like to diversify all the different lines together, but how can you not use that? I mean, it's such a good figure. So she is now the 4th villain. So they're there, and then I actually added above my Tanta V, I actually added my Luke Skywalker X-Wing. So that's the TVC one. I was unsure about it at first there, but I kind of like it. I think it works. So that's going to live there as, again, kind of a New Hope thing. And then going down to Jabba's Palace, at a local toy shop, I actually got a few things. I actually finally added an Amanaman back there to my Jabba's playset, and then a Yak Face. Both are the Amanaman's the Power of the Jedi line. Yak Face is the Power of the Force 2. And I actually got the Power of the Force 2 EV99 there as well. So added those figures to my Jabba's playset. With my, Death Star, I actually added the Imperial Sentinel there in front of the Royal Guards, which is the EU figure. Again, facing down Luke. I love this display so much. The Evil Empire and Luke. But I added him there. I think that looks cool. And then maybe about it from what I added here. And then my Boba Fett's throne room. I forget his name, but there's a Clone Wars, like the Legacy collection. One of those Mandos. My Boba Fett's throne room with all the other Mandalorians. So added that. Looks cool. Again, different color scheme of a Mandalorian. Pops well, looks good. And then I actually added the Power of the Force 2 Millennium Falcon back here. Love it. I love the Power of the Force 2 line. More on that. It's actually made its way back to the collection room at a little bit of a bigger scale again. So we'll get more into that. But again, the 90s collecting Star Wars being back on shelves, it's hard to explain how important this line was for all of collecting at that time in the mid to late 90s. And a lot of the figures are kind of goofy from time to time, but just the significance of their place in toy history, it's established. So I added that, and that's so actually a lot new in the 3 3/4 area. So that's all there. And then coming around to this section, nothing really too new over here at all. But for my Xbox, I've wanted this for so long. Actually, I have some Star Wars controllers, and the Stormtrooper one, I've been waiting to find a deal on it. These are $200 new. I actually got this for $100, half off. It was on Amazon, used like new. It was unopened, so clearly somebody got it and just returned it. So cool, but I went with the Stormtrooper one because, again, it matches the aesthetic of the room. It matches my Stormtrooper bar stools. And I've been wanting to have a Star Wars controller for my Xbox down here for the longest time. So finally got that. Super cool edition. And then for May the 4th, actually on Shop Disney's website, I got the like bronze Yoda Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary statue. So everybody knows Yoda is my favorite character of all time. He's kind of living here right now on there's a decoration on our card table, but I love that piece. Love Yoda, and let's get into more of the Power of the Force 2. So I actually aligned the red card versions of my Power of the Force 2 figures up here. And this is actually the complete carded red card line. People who know, the red cards were the first kind of runs of these figures. And then the card switched to like a green lightsaber. It was always weird they were called red because it's more yellow and orange, the saber, than it is actually red, but they called them red cards. All the older lightsaber figures that had a long saber, these are all the long saber variants. Which again, for people that remember, at first the lightsabers, like every other feature in these figures, was huge, massive, as long as they were. So they eventually changed it. There was a running change, higher worth variant that was like the longer saber, or sorry, a shorter saber on a longer tray still, and then they all switched to short ones. So anyway, all my figures with sabers that have a lightsaber edition that was the longer saber, they're the longer saber ones. And again, love this line. This is complete for the red cards. There's a lot of variations of the Boba Fett. There's a lot of variants in this line as a whole. At this point, I'm not really big on collecting those. I kind of just want one of each. So I aligned all those in the back of the bar. They weren't there. They're in storage. I'm thrilled to have this line back on display here. Again, I love the line so much. Just so much history behind it in the 90s. The Anakin Vader set. Don't know where to put it yet, but I got that. So good. Very exciting times here. And then back here again, nothing really too new, all the same. Man, I got the Star Killer Funko Pop from GameStop. I think that might be different from May the 4th. I can't even remember when I got that, but he's there. But I do know for a fact that's my newest Funko Pop. So yeah, so the main thing here is Power of the Force 2. And now for the fun part. My biggest change, I actually have wanted to, for the longest time, to put together a custom 6 scale Rey dark side version and a custom kind of what if scenario dark side Padme, also 6 scale. So I bought all the pieces. I got custom bases off Etsy, and we're gonna go over these right now. These things came out phenomenal. So give everybody the concept behind them. I love the way these things look, but let's go ahead and check these out. So again, these are 6 scale versions, custom dark side versions. The Padme, I basically called Sith Assassin. So it's kind of a what if where Padme decides to join Anakin and Sidious. And to keep the rule of 2 intact, obviously you have the Master and the Apprentice, Sidious and Anakin, aka Darth Vader, and then Padme became kind of a Ventress situation where she was an assassin. The clothing, I wanted something elegant, like Padme-ish. So we got this black cloak that is kind of aligned with fur. So I love the way this thing came out. Again, that custom head sculpt, so good. Got these from eBay sellers. The bodies are like the Fiacin, whatever they're called, TB League. 6 scale bodies I got from a Big Bad Toy Store. Again, none of these affiliates pay me anything to mention them. It's just where I got them. Got the clothing off Etsy, or I'm sorry, the clothing off eBay as well. That's actually Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, but I switched it with the red blade. So I thought that was fitting for Padme's saber. So, and again, the bases are custom from Etsy. So that is my Dark Side Padme 6 scale figure. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and it just came out phenomenal. And now here's the Rey. I absolutely love this thing. Look at that. But she looks so cool. Absolutely phenomenal, this thing. So kind of the same situation, head sculpt, clothing, all from eBay, same brand of body that I got from Big Bad. And she's actually called Rey Sith Empress. So she did decide to take the throne, you know, took out Kylo in the process, took out Sidious, and now Rey is running the galaxy in her dark side ways. I absolutely love it. Body, clothing, really molded after Kitana from Mortal Kombat. Like, I started thinking, how would Rey fight? She would have a double-bladed saber, of course, where she's spinning the swooshing effect behind her. So with that, though, she would need to be dynamic, very mobile. So you got to go tight-fitting leather, you know? So we did that, kind of, I call her Dominatrix in a way. But yeah, I just thought it made sense. And again, I love this thing. I can't stop looking at these. They came out great. So custom 6 scale Rey and Padme. Couldn't be more thrilled. So I absolutely love them. And then I also got the Shin Hati from Hot Toys. She is awesome too. Such a good figure. And again, these 3 look good here in my kind of dark side Force user area. The Shin is so nice. I messed around with the pose for a while. I kind of like that cape flowing situation with her cloak. I actually did that with my Ahsoka and my regular Padme too. I don't know, like the element of utilizing the wired capes and making it look flowing in the wind. But yeah, these are the newest things that I'm so thrilled to share with everybody. And again, this side just kind of moved over Darth Talon up there, and the Kylo Ren Star Killer, which is phenomenal, and we got Revan. So yeah, that's pretty much it for these. Can't stress it enough. These things are great. I spent all summer kind of piecing these things together, really thinking about how I wanted them to look, what made sense. Yeah, I just couldn't get enough of these things. So again, I'm going to keep building this like 6 scale dark side theme on this like lower level of my shelves. And then last but not least, I actually messed with my Lego area. I haven't collected new Lego in a while, just again because space, but I love what I have, and I actually finally got some risers that fit in this area to basically just highlight the Legos a little more individually. For the longest time, they were all just kind of thrown in there, and it was fine for a while. Like, I was glad it fit, but now that I have this extra room, because the risers, you're able to see things more cleanly. So we're actually going to go over this. So and I got my TIE Fighter there, a bunch of Stormtroopers, and I got Anakin's Starfighter, yeah, Luke's Land Speeder, got Yoda's Hut, we got the Speeder from Solo, a Krennic Shuttle, and a Jyn Erso back there, so kind of a Rogue One. And that's pretty much the same, but I added the figures in the front. I also kind of displayed the minifigures a little more cleanly with this stuff too. You know, ATM-6 from Last Jedi, they're there. Some books. With my Grogu, I put the Armor's Forge. And again, I broke that set up to make it fit the space, which I actually did with a couple things. I did that with the Emperor's Throne Room too, which actually came out great. So, and there's a Clone Wars shelf. And then up here, we got Poe's X-Wing from the Rise of Skywalker. Again, I just like how much cleaner this is. And here we go. This is the Emperor's Throne Room. So this all goes together as one set horizontally. But I basically broke it up into 2 pieces to fit so you can see it all. So the Emperor's there. Below him, you got Vader and Luke in the other part of the throne room set there. But yeah, I got that clear acrylic riser that fit in there perfectly. So it came out great. And then here, there's some Phantom Menace ships, and then the Mandalorian version of the AT-ST from Season 1. And then that's pretty much the same, but it's just a little AT-ST with BB-8 driving it, and then all my cords and surge protectors are down there. And then you know, a Last Jedi themed shelf here, again with some risers, stuff separated. And then another Clone Wars one here. So yeah, love how these things came out. So that was something, I haven't changed my Legos up in a little while, so I was happy to do that. So again, a lot cleaner, a lot more tidy. You can see everything better. It really gives the Lego pieces the respect they truly deserve, which I was not giving them. So happy to have that set. The my TV area, all this stuff, my 6 scales, great time. So again, thank you everybody for watching this little update tour video in August of 2025. can't believe how fast summer's going. Like, I just want to hold on to it forever. But the time's flying by. Thanks again for supporting my May the 4th video. And hope everybody likes this. Any questions, hit me up in the comments. Love to see your support from